Much of what has been said and written about Janine Haines is untrue, according to Janine Haines. And today we have an opportunity to learn the truth. Please welcome Senator Janine Haines. Welcome to the show, Janine.
Thank you. You'll be pleased to know I never ever intended to be Bert Newton.
Didn't you? Not at any stage of the game?
No, mind you, I didn't ever intend to be a politician either, so who knows, I could have turned into you.
Yeah. How did politics come into your life then?
By accident, like most things do.
A good accident or a nasty accident?
Well, I think you'd have to ask the electorate. They probably think it was a bad accident. I enjoy what I do and I like it very much.
So what really caused it though? What was the...
A car accident.
Yeah.
Somebody ran into the back of me when I was trying to do some master's work and I couldn't do that, so I got involved with some political meetings and I thought, well, why not? So I did what I always do. After about 2 months I was branch president, then I was on the state council, then I was on a Senate ticket and went from there.
Were you inspired like a lot of the Democrats?
No politician is inspired. Depressed, yes. Inspired, no.
Well, did you like the work? Did you like the cut of the jib of Don Chip?
Yes, and I like the cut and the thrust of politics.
Mm. Is it difficult for a woman in politics in 1989? More difficult than for a man?
Well, I don't know. I've never been a man in politics.
No, but by observation, though.
In a way, they don't get asked the same questions, but because nobody says to them, do you go home at weekends and cook casseroles and put them in the freezer so the family can eat in the week that you're away?
Do you, by the way?
No. But then I never did it before I went into politics either, you see. But on the other hand, I'd have to say being a woman has been an advantage because they notice you more. Well, they notice me more.
Yeah.
I'm noisy.
Especially in recent times, it just seems to me, and I could be very wrong here, Janine, but it just seems that there's a bit of a glamour job being done on Janine Haines. Is that a fair enough comment?
Well, yes, people decided that I had to shake off this school mum-ishness and they said, you know, will you take your glasses off for us? I suppose I should be grateful that's all they wanted me to take off, but will you take your glasses off and let us photograph you if we promise to put you in very expensive George Gross and Harry Hoo clothes? Now, look, who's going to say no to that?
Sure.
Except perhaps Andrew Peacock.
Yes, or myself. I wouldn't be particularly. Well, he's wearing them already, isn't he? I mean, that's the thing. Early in the piece with yourself, here's a photograph of Janine Haines.
Do I have to look at this?
Well, you don't have to look. We're going to have a look, though. I think it's about circa 15, maybe 20 years ago. Looks remarkably like me, actually, looking at the monitor. There it is.
It's more like 1533, actually.
And now, all of a sudden, we come through to the new... I mean, in anyone's language, that is a very glamorous pose.
Well, the clothes did it, actually.
Well, is it important to have an image in politics, particularly if one is going for the lower house?
Well, people give you an image, whether you like it or not, I guess, and they take things that you say or they think you said and turn you into a school mum or something out of Penthouse, which is what that rather looks like. And you sort of live with that. But by and large, when you're dealing with the electorate, they know you for what you are. You turn up on their front doorstep and say, I'm me, and they say, go away.
Janine, this is a big gamble going for the lower house. I know that the figures look good already, but you've already declared as a party the person who is going to replace you in the Senate. So those people who criticised you and said, oh, she's going to go back to the Senate if she doesn't win, that door is no longer open for you, so it's make or break, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. I don't like playing the electorate for idiots. I don't like going in there and saying, look, if you don't think enough of me to elect me as your representative, then I'm going to run back to the safety net of the Senate. I think that's not proper. It's something that no politician should do. So it is make or break, and if I lose, well, I don't know what I'll do, really. Try to be a real person again, find reality.
Is it hard to be a real person in politics?
Well, I try not to become an unreal person, but you do have to work at it. I mean, you're in this rarefied atmosphere, and it's worse inside the new Parliament House, which is sort of a great palace. You think you're in the Kremlin or somewhere. And the old place, at least, was so basic. It was falling down. You had to go out of your office for absolutely every basic need you had, and a few of the non-basic ones as well. And, you know, you were very much in touch with reality then. But now you're in this palace. I mean, my office is bigger than my home unit in Queanbeyan, which is where I stay. I'd like to sleep overnight there. I mean, it's
Do you ever sleep overnight there?
No, I don't sleep very much at all, actually.
Because of the job?
Well, 5 or 6 hours is the sort of limit that you have.
Leader of the party, obviously with ambitions to get more power for the party because you believe in it. The leaders that you're up against, just in a line, what do you think of them? Bob Hawke?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Well, he's a very good Conservative Prime Minister.
Andrew
So is
Peacock?
Margaret Thatcher. Andrew's been there and done that, and whether he'll come out of the next election as a winner or loser is hard to say. I admired the way he performed during the '84 election when he campaigned with enormous dignity and almost won. They talk about souffles not rising again, but who knows?
John Howard?
John Howard I had more time for than a lot of other people did. He was a man who didn't pretend to be anything other than what he was, and I think there ought to be more of that in Australian politics. If we stop with the image, if we stop with the pouting and the pretending and we just become real people, maybe we'll get better politicians.
Just finally, Janine, do you think one of the major problems for the Democrats is that you're allowed to vote by conscience? And surely then you can't always have a unified party and people see that as a real crack in the wall? Well,
that, of course, is the way the American system operates. It's why they can have two political parties and get away with it without an adversarial situation.
Yeah, but you're working, of course, in the Westminster system, aren't you?
But I would like to see... Well, the Westminster system was never intended to be adversarial, and it was never intended to be a two-party system. I mean, it's intended to be a multi-house system and an accountable system and a democratic system, but nobody ever said party discipline has to apply, and in fact it's a very recent phenomenon even in Britain.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying really, if you want the ultimate for the Australian Democrats, do you think perhaps you'll need to lean toward the major parties and their thinking?
What I want is the ultimate for the electorate, and that is for each person out there who's voted to know that their Member of Parliament will put them first.
Well, I like the new Janine Haines, I like the old one too. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Senator Janine Haines.